I do have a comic review channel, so I usually save these for that channel, but this actually is such big news with DC Comics and the crazy LGBT over-the-top woke stuff that they've been doing lately that I need to do this for the main channel. Now, Tom King has been writing Wonder Woman. Of course, the villain is a Trump but he was running a shadow government that's really controlling the real government, the patriarchy, of course, going against Wonder Woman. So it's cringe as it is. Now, this is the 4th issue, and it gets even cringier in here. This is a full-on grooming psyop, and this is what Tom King's hired to do. Remember, he's former CIA, so his entire deal is to push the ESG psyop on everybody through these comics, through these superhero comics, and to ruin them intentionally. This is my opinion. Tom King, you're welcome to come on the channel and, of course, state your case if there's something else going on here, but I don't see another reason for this. Now, the plot here is Wonder Woman is under fire, of course, from the patriarchy. Look at Tom King loves doing this. These 9 panels of just like Bendis level dialogue spam about what's going on. It's just awful to read. Now, she is, of course, on the run, and of course, the government is already having problems with her. A soldier sewer slided himself because of of an interaction with her, and there's all this like anti-male propaganda through all this as well. So there's a kid who's dying, which is a superhero trope that's gone before, and so Wonder Woman's going to take him around and do this, and it's going to eventually get into his Make-A-Wish, basically, Wonder Woman, and look, there's nothing that happens in the issue. But beyond that, like, I'm going to get to the part where it's just totally a travesty, and it's a whole grooming operation here. If you get towards the end of it, it starts to get weird as she goes to Paradise Island, and the kid's riding her like a pony. Very weird on that front. But this is the page where the psyop really happens. The kid in this point starts crying, and it's not because like he's scared or whatever, like they tried to imply in the issue. It's because he's got gender dysphoria and confusion. I shit you not. This is what they're doing in the Wonder Woman comic right now. And so he starts complaining to Wonder Woman as he starts to cry, and she's like, "Oh, don't be scared. I know this has been, we're at a weird island and all that. Remember, the patriarchy shadow government's doing their other thing." While she's, of course, being a good person and trying to help this kid get confused in his gender. And so he starts saying, "I'm not supposed to like Wonder Woman or whatever. I like girl things and not like Batman. Does that make me a bad person?" And she's like, "No, that doesn't make you a bad person. You're totally fine the way you are." And she literally says, "There is nothing wrong with you." Oh my gosh, if your kid is being brainwashed on this level by some lady who's coming from some weird island, my gosh, this is subversion on the worst level. And of course they are saying that, but they're saying that the people saying that it's subversion are the bad guys, right? Throughout this entire issue. And now she's actually trying to groom this child into like being into dresses and Barbies and things like that, so that he doesn't think he's a real boy. And this is really, really terrible, because we know what happens at the end of the day with this. We know that when you get these liberals who push these like drag shows on people, there's a lot of sex abuse involved at the end of the day. And that sex abuse gets these kids to have psychological disorders where they think this kind of stuff. And when that happens, of course, they start to grow up. They do all these hormone blockers, which screw up their immune systems and screw up their entire body development. They cut off different body parts, which can never return. And then what happens is there's sickly people who end up miserable in their 20s and 30s, and we know the end result of that. So trying to push this is absolutely crazy by DC Comics. This is next level. We've seen so much gay crap from DC Comics over the last several years. Look at how lazy this panel layout is, too. It's just a copy and paste of the same thing 6 times for just dialogue while nothing happens. So the gay stuff's been absolutely pushed so hard with Poison Ivy, with Harley Quinn, with Alan Scott Green Lantern, with Superman. I mean, it's just every character's been gay. So now they got to start transing people, because that's the next step here. Absolutely sick from Tom King and DC Comics. This type of stuff is not okay for children at the end of the day. And of course, they're trying to mask it with these colors, this colorful stuff on the front in order to draw the eye of young people. And it is something that's a travesty that should never be allowed. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.